Hey, how you doing everybody? My name is CherryBoy, welcome back to Ascendant Hearts. Let's get right back into it. Once again, we gather in the town square, sorry. Is everyone prepared for what could be our final battle against the Dark Wolf's master? You said that exact same thing yesterday. Since Dr. Takizawa was innocent, it applies equally well to our upcoming confrontation. No, it does not! She looks tense, not like she's prepared for a battle, but more like she's afraid she'll start shouting if she doesn't restrain herself. High Cleric Ninsei is a good, wonderful person. Then maybe he'll prove his innocence too. He will. Well, we won't know for sure until we get there. And this time, we need a plan. What sort of plan? The sort that doesn't involve us walking in blind and hoping the prophecy will tell us what to do next. I agree. In fact, I already made a plan last night. You did? I was trying to work out my own plan. I didn't expect she'd already have one. Of course, plans can change. We don't know exactly what we'll face. However, I think our best course of action is this. When we arrive at the cathedral, we confront High Cleric Ninsei with our suspicions. If he denies them, we demand to see all of his work concerning Ascendant magic. I've been thinking of something a little more subtle, trying to learn what Ninsei was up to without accusing him right away. What's the matter, Haito? You look surprised. It's nothing. I just had a different plan in mind. What is it? I thought it would be better to act friendly at first and see if we could get some details from Ninsei before we accuse him. Maybe we should go with your plan. What? I still prefer the direct approach in this situation, but you're the hero chosen by the prophecy. We should go with the plan you like the best. I didn't expect you to put the decision in my hands because of the prophecy. Then again, I didn't expect you to suggest an alternative right away either. Which is better, the subtle approach I wanted to, or the direct confrontation Chisei prefers? Oh no! Stick with my original plan. Or go with Chisei's direct approach. I don't know, which one's faster? Which one? Or subtle, or just go right for it? Let's go right for it. Why not? Let's stick with your plan. Oh? After thinking about it, a direct confrontation sounds better after all. Very well, thank you. What will we do if we learn High Cleric Ninsei is involved in the attacks? Then it will likely come to a battle. We'll fight the way we usually do, but I think it would be best if Aiko retreats to Lightshire to get reinforcements. What? Why me? How is it possibly a good idea to send our healer away? I've bought plenty of potions. We should be able to hold our own. If he can summon Dark Wolves to help him, we'll need reinforcements. And sending away one of our primary damage dealers is a bad idea. Besides, he's the one who will have the most difficulty of fighting him. Aiko looks down at the ground. But I don't want to go. You'd rather stay and fight High Cleric Ninsei? No, but if it really comes to that, I want to be there. She turns to me. Once again, we should let prophecy dictate our course of action through its hero, Hayato. Hayato? I hesitate. It's clear from Chisei's tone that she believes we should send Aiko away during the battle. I'm not sure if it's about reinforcements at all, or just because Aiko believes in Ninsei so much. It could be a problem if someone on our side won't fight the enemy. On the other hand, Aiko sounds so determined to stay, and if it ends up being the final battle, this is the one where she'll believe she dies. She must really be determined if she wants to be there with us despite her fears. Aiko should leave. Aiko should stay for the battle. Why not? Wait, this isn't the end though, right? I think Aiko should stay with us for the battle. If we really need reinforcements, we can send someone later. Fine. Not anyone, I think. Here, look. Okay, here, CG. Okay, sorry. Thank you so much, Hayato. Are we ready to go then? Yeah, I think so. Wait, first, I want to say something. She takes a deep breath and stands to face all of us. Maybe it's easy to mistrust High Cleric Ninsei. Adventurers have faced evil religions in the past, but he isn't like that. He's a good man. I was wrong about Dr. Takizawa, and I know when we get to Highwater, you'll see that you're wrong. There's no way High Cleric Ninsei has any tie to the Dark Wolves. Hello, bro. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but did you say you're going to Highwater? She did. Why? I'll go with you. I have a quest reward to collect for High Cleric Ninsei. He asked me to return his copies of Advanced Summoning and Summoning Through the Ages to the library. Silence follows his statement. Advanced Summoning? Summoning Through the Ages? That sounds like the book someone would need if they were summoning the Dark Wolves. Did I say something wrong? No, it's fine. A moment later, she overcomes her shock and composes herself. The attacks began too long ago for him to still have the books now. What if he needed to refine his technique? Or what if he checked the books off regularly, because he can't perform the summoning magic without them? No! We won't find out the truth standing around here. Sorry, but what are you arguing about, Bruce? We're on our way to High Water to confront and possibly fight High Cleric Ninsei. If you no longer wish to accompany us, we'll understand. High Cleric Ninsei? That sounds like it could be a major story quest. I wouldn't miss this for the world. He hesitates. Just one thing though. Will you let me collect my quest road before the fighting starts? Of course. Then I'm on board. I'm not sure I'll ever understand this place. This guy just joined our party. If everyone's ready, then we should leave. Okay then. We set out across the field together, and I realize I have no idea where High Water is. How do we get to High Water? It's north of Lightshire, so the quickest path from here is through the forest. Alright, always through the forest. I wonder how many places I'll see before I go back to my world, if I ever go back. That is, if this world is anywhere near the size of ours, the few areas around Lightshire are only a small fraction. It's still mind-boggling to think that there's an entire second world here. Haito, you look dazed. Sorry, just lost in thought. Let's keep moving. The roads around High Water are fairly safe, but we don't want to waste time. Indeed. We walk through the forest quietly. I glance up at the trees and can't help but remember my first trip here with Shiori. The thought makes me look at her, but when our gazes meet, she rolls her eyes and looks away. Don't look away. Once we've traveled a fair distance, Aiko steps to my side. I need to discuss something with you. It's very important. What is it? Given our situation, she's probably worried about either our upcoming confrontation with Ninsei or her own death. If you have any feelings for me, please forget them. Okay, that is definitely not what I expected at all. What? You don't want me to die, do you? Of course not! Well, I've been thinking things over. You might have a point when you claim I can survive this after all. But not if I'm part of a love triangle. I think this is more of a love square. What? You're the hero. I mean, not counting the bro, you know? With Shiori, Chisei, and Aiko, they all love me. So, and I'm the one. So, four. Square. Okay, sorry. You're the hero, and when the hero ends up in a love triangle, one of the love interests is likely to die. To remove the problem, since I already meet some criteria to die, it'll probably be me. Wait a minute. Just who do you think is the third member of this love triangle? It better not be me. I don't know what you think Strictly speaking, the sort of situation Aiko describes would be relevant if no one had feelings for Haito, so long as he had feelings for at least two of them. I look at Brad to see if the only other guy here shares my awkwardness at this discussion of my potential romantic interest, but he's nodding as though the conversation is completely normal. I hope death by a love triangle isn't comedy, and the bro's like, yeah, it totally makes sense. So please, Haito, for my sake, if I'm part of a love triangle with you, forget your feelings for me! I wish I could pretend the topic never came up, but she watches me expectantly. She must want an answer. Oh, come on, do you think it's that easy? It's not like he can just flip a switch and turn off his feelings. If he even has feelings for you, which is pretty arrogant to assume. What? No, I didn't mean it in an arrogant way. And what if it's a love quadrangle? Quadrangle? And what if it's a love quadrangle? A what? Quadrangle, you know, with 4 people involved? The bro. He's right, and the participants of a love quadrangle often end up paired off without anyone dying. Paired off? Brad, are you saying you're one of the 4? Are you in love with one of us? Wait, what? Sorry. Wait, what? How did I end up? Enough! This conversation is ridiculous. Let's stop worrying about who loves who and get back to saving Lightshire, alright? To my relief, that ends it. I meet Shiori's gaze and give her a grateful nod, but she just rolls her eyes again. We continue on the rest of the way in silence. So quadrangle, that's good, I'm gonna use that. High Water is a big city, much larger and more crowded than Lightshire. We also pass groups of adventurers on our way, busy with what appear to be organized patrols to keep monsters away from the main road. Knowing that adventurers in a town like this follow the guidelines created in a tiny place like Lightshire gives me a new respect for the guildmaster. He must have been one determined guy to make everyone listen to him. Is something wrong? Huh? You look disturbed. I was just wondering how things would be if I lived in a city like this instead of Lightshire. It's so big, even if people heard about my reputation, they might not recognize me. Maybe I'd be able to make friends. You have us! Do you want to live here? You have us! She tilts her head as if she isn't quite sure what I said at first, and then she laughs. Of course, I have friends now. She glances at the others and then back at me. One, at least. You have a whole party. I know, but it took so many years. If I lived here, maybe I wouldn't have to wait that long. Maybe you wouldn't have met us at all. And that's a good point. I'm glad things worked out this way. When Aiko hesitantly speaks up, we look at her, but then she steps back and shakes her head. Never mind. We don't have much time. We don't have time for this. Debate the merits of the city life after we've dealt with High Cleric Ninsei. I'm not sure that's the sort of thing she should say out loud in the middle of high water, but if anyone heard, they don't care. None of the passerbys pay us any attention. High Cleric Ninsei will prove his innocence. So you believe. I know it. Follow me. The cathedral is this way. Alright, whoa, big church. Cathedral, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, okay. If high water looked massive compared to Lightshire, it's nothing compared to how the cathedral dwarfs the tiny church. It's an impressive sight, and a bit intimidating. We're not going against some eccentric scientist who lives on the edge of town this time. We're going after a very powerful man. Remember, let me turn in my quest first. Very well. He nods and raises his voice. Your Holiness, are you here? I'll be there in a moment. We wait. I forgot what voice I gave him. After a few minutes, a door near the altar opens, and the High Cleric steps out. He bows to the altar and then walks down the aisle to greet us. What has brought such an illustrious gathering to my humble hall? Mason there. That's only... Okay. I can't tell if he's mocking us or trying to be friendly. I return your books to the library, Your Holiness. Ah, and now you would like your quest reward. Thank you for your assistance, child. Take this and use it well. He hands Brad a pouch that jingles with coins. Thank you! Brad steps back, but instead of leaving, he sits down at one of the cathedral pews and watches us. I guess he wants to see how things turn out. He did say he wouldn't miss this for the world, after all. Oh, I thought he was going to help us fight. High Cleric Ninsei looks at the rest of us. I assume he did not need so large an escort to keep him safe on the road to high water, and I have not put forth any other recent quests. He trails off, and a shadow of suspicion clouds his face. This isn't good. Could he know why we're here? We exchange glances. Chisei nods grimly and steps forward. High Cleric Ninsei, we know what you're up to. Ninsei abruptly begins to laugh. Your Holiness, what are you doing? So you've learned my secret, have you? I should have known it was only a matter of time. Wait, is this it? He's not even going to pretend to be innocent? I think his voice before was like, the hour has come. Oh, we're gonna go for a dark serious, sorry. The hour has come. Behold the dawn of a new age, foolish adventurers! Chisei grabs her daggers. I draw my sword. Shuri lifts her hands about to prepare a spell. From the pew, Brad gets to his feet as if he might join the battle. Yeah, bro, help us out. Wait, The hour has come. There we go, just want to voice that. But Aiko just continues to stare at Ninsei with a crestfallen expression. Your Holiness, you can't be serious. You're right, I'm not. The dramatic air he adopted a moment ago fades and he shrugs. Don't scare me like that! I apologize. Chisei, Shuri, and Brad look as bewildered as I feel. What was that all about? High Cleric Ninsei, we came here because we believe that I'm up to something evil, correct? Well, yes. Do you know how often I have to deal with this? Every few weeks a group of adventurers show up, armed to the teeth, and swears they're uncovered my evil deeds. It's gotten to be most tiring. If armed warriors showed up on a regular basis to kill me, I don't think tiring is the way I describe it. I know some of my predecessors tried to make themselves gods, and that they were nasty and then there was that nasty business with the Inquisition, and a few high clerics tried to wipe out the rest of the world's religion, blah yada yada, but really, I don't understand why people hold it against me. With all due respect, Your Holiness, you just shouted that we're about to witness the dawn of a new age. You have to admit, that's a bit suspicious. I've always wanted to say something dramatic like that. It's so monotonous to explain that I'm not an evil man. He pretended to be the bad guy because he was bored. Explain it anyway. She did not seem amused at all by the High Cleric's antics. Very well then, child. I shall explain myself. First, however, I need to know what I'm being accused of this time. Do you think I was after godhood, world domination, or perhaps I'm an embezzler? Actually, we thought you might be the person sending the Dark Wolves to attack Lightshire. What? They thought that. I didn't. I didn't either. We had to be sure. So they didn't say nothing. We had to be sure. Exactly. It is too serious a situation to ignore any possibilities. We even investigated poor Dr. Takizawa the other day. This is a new one. No one has ever accused me of attacking Lightshire. What would I ever want to hurt that pretty little town? Why would I ever want to hurt that little pretty town? Pretty little town. We don't know your motives, but you've been researching Ascendant magic and summoning spells. That's right. Summoning. There, no, Brad. That's right! Summoning magic. Ah, yes, because the Dark Wolves appear in a flash of light, correct? It makes sense that such magic is at work, and I assume you came to the conclusion that a human is behind these attacks.
someone able to communicate with and command the Dark Wolves, and so you connected them to Ascendancy.
Right.
That is the same conclusion I came to.
Are you saying you researched it because you want to track down the source of the attacks, just like we do? She sounds skeptical.
I am.
He sounds sincere. Is it possible we're all trying to do the same thing? To someone on the outside, maybe our investigation looks just as suspicious as Dr. Takizawa and High Cleric Ninsei research did to us. Sorry. Whew. I sheathed my sword. After a moment, Chisei puts her daggers away.
See? You all got worked up for nothing.
But what about the summoning magic?
Clearly he was studying it because of the Dark Wolves.
Yeah, right. Didn't you hear him a minute ago? He had to think about it before he realized why we linked the Dark Wolves to summoning magic. And that one book Brad said he returned to the library, Advanced Summoning, that's the sort of thing you'd read to learn how to do it, not just study the concept.
Well, I'm sure he just...
You are correct, child. I have attempted to learn summoning magic.
Aiko falls silent and we all look at him. He must have a good explanation, or he wouldn't sound so calm.
Have you seen the prophecy about the Dark Wolves? My heart skips a beat. The prophecy? The one Chisei believes named me as the hero who will save Lightshire?
We found a prophecy in the Temple of Bazal, if that's what you mean.
That's correct.
He folds his hands and quotes the prophecy from memory.
Only one can stop the Ascendant Heart, a traveler to our land sent by the gods from another world.
Chisei gasps and take a step back. If you weren't trying to summon the Dark Wolves...
I see by the look in your eyes that you have guessed the truth. Correct. I attempted to summon the prophesized hero to our world.
No way! No way! I couldn't help the outburst. I wondered how I came to this world, but I never imagined High Cleric Ninsei summoned me here.
Indeed. However, my efforts were for naught. Although I felt the presence of another world, my summoning circle remained empty. No hero appeared. I am a priest, not a mage. My skill must have not have been enough.
But, Your Holiness, if the prophecy says the gods would have sent someone, why did you try to summon a hero yourself?
The gods frequently work through us, child. It will be irresponsible of me to wait patiently for the gods to act, because they might have intended to act through me. Alas, it was for nothing.
Not necessarily.
Whatever do you mean?
She meets my gaze and I nod with a shrug. It won't do any harm for Ninsei to know the truth about me, especially if he's the one who brought me here. Hayato is from another world.
Hayato?
Me. Sorry, no introductions.
You?
He stares at me. For a moment, he opens his mouth without saying anything. Is it really that hard to believe? Then again, we didn't get off on the right foot when we first met.
But that cannot be.
I know Hayato doesn't look like a great hero, Your Holiness.
Hey! It isn't that. After all, many heroes come from humble origins. However, follow me and I'll show you.
He leads us to the front of the cathedral, behind the altar. There it is, magic circle.
This is a summoning circle.
Right, summoning circle.
Oh my.
Please do not look so distraught, child. I use this magic with the god's blessing.
I know a little bit about summoning circles. The person or creature you summon is supposed to appear in it, right?
Correct, yet mine remained empty. If I summoned anyone to our world, whether Hayato or someone else, they should have appeared here.
Instead, I woke up in Lightshire. Several miles from where you conducted the spell. You're right, it doesn't add up. And yet, could it really be a coincidence?
When did you appear in this world, child?
One day before I met you. When did you attempt the spell, Your Holiness?
One day before I asked the two of you to visit the ancient library of Kerr.
In other words, the same day Hayato appeared in Lightshire.
But if Hayato didn't appear in the summoning circle like he was supposed to, what does that mean?
It's a coincidence. Maybe something interfered, yes. What do you mean? What do you mean? Maybe he summoned me into this world, but something went wrong with the spell before I could make it all the way to Highwater.
And the magic dropped you in Lightshire?
Is that possible? It might be, but it doesn't sound like the result of a normal accident. It would take powerful magic to interfere with a spell like that.
Do you truly believe you are the one who will stop the Ascendant Heart, named by the prophecy?
Well, I want to stop the Dark Wolves, at least.
Then you have my blessing. May the gods watch over you and protect you in your quest. May they guide you to the truth and bring peace to our world.
Thank you. Thanks, bro.
However, I should ask, was my explanation satisfactory, or do you still suspect me?
I'm satisfied.
I am too. She's so happy. Me too. I just came along to see what would happen. Brad. I just came along to see what would happen, bros.
I don't think His Holiness is responsible either, but that leaves us without any leads to follow.
Not again. But she's right. Our clues pointed us toward Dr. Takizawa and High Cleric Ninsei. If neither of them is guilty, we're out of ideas. What is it?
It could be a coincidence, and I hesitate to cast suspicion on anyone without proof. But I have heard strange stories lately of a mysterious swordsman who roams our land.
That's right. I heard a rumor like that too.
His origins are unknown. His swordsmanship is unmatched, and they say he speaks with monsters as if they were human.
Ascendant magic!
So it would seem.
A mysterious swordsman. Somehow it always comes to that. I guess we should try to find him.
May the gods watch over all of you.
All of you.
Yeah,
there we go. Back on the streets of Highwater, we stop to consider the situation and figure out our next move. Well, I'm headed back to Lightshare. This was fun. We should do it again sometime, bros. I hope he means adventuring together, not accusing prominent religious leaders of summoning monsters. Bye! We all say farewell to Brad, and he heads out of Highwater. Once we're alone, Chusei faces us. We need to find the swordsman. But how? If there are rumors about him, we might be able to track him that way. People must talk when he's in town. Alright, let's split up and... Oh, there he is! What in the world? What in the world? I reach for my sword. Calm down. If he's not in the Temple of Bazal, he's off duty. Off duty?! An off-duty ghost. Are you sure?
Oh, please calm down.
Oh, please, calm down. You're the 10th person who screamed, and I've only been in Highwater for 10 minutes. If this keeps up, shopping in Highwater will stop being fun, too. Oh, wait, is that him? 2? Oh, it's him.
It's no fun at the Colosseum today. A couple of real weirdos...
No. It's no fun at the Colosseum today. A couple of real weirdos keep stirring up trouble. He's calling someone else weird. What sort of trouble? One of them keeps acting like he can understand the monsters. He watches the fights and mutters under his breath what the monsters are feeling. It's downright creepy, if you ask me. And if it's enough to give a ghost the creeps, you know it's bad. He can understand the monsters? I look at her. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? This mysterious man, is he a swordsman? Yes, he carries a sword. How did you know? I'll explain another time. For now, we have to leave. We're due at the Colosseum to see just who these troublemakers are. Alright, sounds good. Although, okay, let's keep going. We leave Highwater as fast as possible, reach the Colosseum while the swordsman is still there. A mysterious swordsman with ascended magic causing trouble at a Colosseum doesn't sound too sinister, but he meets the criteria for the Dark Wolf's master. I don't like rushing without working out a new plan, but can't waste time. This way. This way. This is one place I hope I never have to go again. Great. Why are we here? Do we seriously need to go through this forest to reach the Colosseum? Fortunately, Chusei doesn't seem to be leading us anywhere near the Temple of Bazal. Since we're moving pretty fast, we shouldn't be here too long. Sorry, excuse me. Unless the Colosseum is actually in the forest. Well, what kind of Colosseum is this, anyway? People bet on the monster battles, I think, but I've never been there. Enough chatting. More moving! We press on through the forest at an even faster pace. Gotta go fast! When we reach the Colosseum, it's immediately apparent something is going on. The crowd isn't watching the arena. Instead, they're clustered together near the side of the room, where people are shouting. It's not cheating if we didn't bet any money! Oh, whoa, who are these people? We approach the group, and I strain to see over the crowd. It appears as though the Colosseum security is giving two people a hard time. Whoa, are these the new characters? Oh, it's her! Wait, she's from before. How do I close this? I don't know how to close it. Right, okay, it's fine. Wait, I think it was like one of these buttons. There we go. Yeah, okay.
Even if you didn't bet on the fights, you clearly have information that you shouldn't. You know things only the monster trainer should know. We need to know how that information was leaked to you.
I'm trying to explain.
There is no leak. I'm trying to explain. There is no leak. I know these things because I can understand the monsters.
No doubt about it, this is the swordsman we're looking for. Under the circumstances, he seemed pretty calm. The same can't be said about his companion, a woman who glares at the security personnel like she might attack them at any minute.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you aren't a cheater, just some sort of freak?
Don't call him that! She lunges for the one who calls the swordsman a freak, and I realized I've seen her before. If she's traveling with the swordsman, does that mean he was close by while we were investigating the Dark Wolves?
If you don't calm down, I'll be forced to take action.
I'd like to see you try.
I'd like to see you try.
Oh, no. I'd like to see you try! Wait, Kasumi. His protests go unheard. The woman, Kasumi, draws her daggers. The security guards, who are all equipped with gear like adventurers, draw their own weapons. No, please don't fight! She hurries forward through the crowd towards them. Aiko! You'd think someone so concerned about dying would think twice before intervening in a fight, especially since she isn't a physical combatant. Oh, brother. Going in without a plan was definitely a bad idea. I take a step to follow and glance back at Chisa in case she has another idea. The look on her face stops me in mid-stride. She stares at the battle with a wide-eyed, blank expression. I can't tell if she's shocked or horrified or confused. I've never seen her look like that before. Is it her sister? Chise? Her unusual behavior is unnerving. I hesitate. Help Aiko. Talk to Chise. Oh god, what are we gonna do? We gotta help Aiko. I guess, yeah. Then I run forward after Shiori and Aiko. Chise will be fine. Whatever it is, we can work it out later. Aiko might be in real danger right now. By the time I catch up to them, Aiko has reached the fight. She manages to get in between one of the security guards and Kasumi, but they're largely ignoring her. Blades swing past her face as they fight. No one has hit her so far, but it's only a matter of time. She's not alone in her efforts. The swordman also appears to be trying to stop the battle. However, his method is to draw his own sword and use it to drive the guards away from Kasumi. Shiori stands a few feet away from the fight, a scowl on her face. How can I attack when they're so close together? I understand her concern. I understand her concern. Whether she wants to target the guards or Kasumi, it would be tricky enough to attack one with magic and not the other. With Aiko in between, it will all be it will be all but impossible to avoid hitting her. But we have to do something fast or Aiko will get hurt. I consider drawing my sword, but the more fighting there is, the worse the situation will get. It all started over a misunderstanding. After all, the Coliseum guards think the swordsman stole information from the monster trainers. I think about that for a minute, and then step forward. I raise my voice to shout loud enough for them to hear me. They're telling... Sorry. Darn, I lost that dramatic. They're telling the truth! He didn't cheat! He has Ascendant magic! Everyone freezes. They look at me. In particular, the swordsman looks stunned.
Thank you, Hayato. That's exactly right. Fine, that's why you don't have to fight.
Shiori joins us, and together we manage to convince security to back down. As long as those two don't comment on monster battles anymore, Kasumi looks like she still wants to fight, but the swordsman heads straight towards me.
How do you know I have Ascendant magic?
I'll explain it in a minute. Follow me.
Kasumi? But... Kasumi, please.
Fine. We all pass through the excited, curious crowd to rejoin Chise. She still looks dazed, but she gives herself a shake as we approach. Some of her usual composure returns. Hello, Kasumi.
Wait a minute, you two know each other?
Ooh, that's a good CG, I think.
We did, once. Chise.
Why are you two staring at each other like that?
Do you know why I'm here, Kasumi? Let me guess. These are your heroes, and you found a way to save the world. That's right. This man is Hayato, the hero chosen by prophecy. He's the one who will save Lightshire from the Dark Wolves. Are you familiar with the prophecy? It should interest you. It says he will stop the Ascendant Heart. Should that mean something to me? It should. The Ascendant Heart, or in other words, someone whose Ascendant magic allows them to communicate with monsters and command the Dark Wolves to attack.
Ascendant magic.
That's right. It's your power.
I see. So, you came here to find me.
A mysterious swordsman with the ability to talk to monsters? That sounds pretty suspicious.
Yes, it does.
So is it you? Are you the one attacking our town?
Do you really think he'll just admit it? Don't give him a chance to lie. This is the end. We've brought our hero, and the villain is here. If we want to save Lightshire, we need to end things now. This is bad. Chise is fired up and ready to strike down the swordsman. She gave Dr. Takizawa and High Cleric Ninsei a chance to justify their actions, but she doesn't want to let this man speak. Why? Is it because of Kasumi? I swear to all of the gods above, if you hurt Takechi, I'll rip your heart out. I'll rip your heart out.
Isn't this escalating a bit quickly?
Rip my heart out? You should be good at that. Don't pretend you were the one wrong back then. Are you saying it was my fault? That's right. I suppose I was the one who broke up a supposed friendship. Yes, I'd say you did. I don't have time for this. Hayato, I'll say it again. Don't you dare hurt my friend. Why not? You can just replace him too. Replace? Is that what this is all about? You think I've replaced you with Takechi? This is about the Dark Wolves, nothing more. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. If you were angry about Takechi, I'd have to point out that you've clearly replaced me with new friends too. There would be no point in saying something like that. If you did, I'd be obligated to mention that when someone is dropped by her friend, it's only natural for her to eventually make new ones. The person responsible, however. Oh, I see what you're saying. If someone hypothetically had a friend who became obsessed with something to the point where it ruined their friendship, and that someone finally cut ties for her own sanity, she should never make new friends ever again. She almost seemed like her old self, turning this passive-aggressive exchange. But at the last comment, her eyes blazed with anger. You left me for the sake of your sanity? Just admit you got tired of me. Like you cared. You only had one thing on your mind, finding a hero. You didn't want to fight the Dark Wolves or try to protect people. All that mattered to you was that you were searching for a chosen one. You abandoned our friendship long before I did. You didn't care at all. That's not true! I cried for days after... Chisei draws back, as if she finally remembers that they're arguing in public. Not only are we an audience for this, but so are several other patrons of the Coliseum who drew near enough to listen. She turns away from Kasumi. Never mind.
Are you okay?
Yes. Of course she is. It's all an act. She doesn't really care. Although they've stopped arguing, the tension between them is palpable. From what they've said, it sounded like they were friends until Chisei decided to find a hero to stop the Dark Wolves. Kasumi eventually stopped spending time with her, but they disagree on who was to blame. And it doesn't look like they intend to resolve that disagreement anytime soon. Yikes. Defend Chisei, say nothing. We gotta defend Chisei. Chisei does care. And how would you know? And how would you know? Well, we've been in the same party for a while now. So you think you understand her? Ha! I thought I understood her once. Don't make the mistake I did. But I think she really... It's alright, Hayato. You don't need to defend me. Let her believe what she wants. It doesn't matter. The strain in her voice makes it evident it doesn't matter. The strain in her voice makes it evident it does matter, but I let it go. I'm sure there'll be other times to convince Kasumi.
Okay, it doesn't matter what happened between you two in the past. We're here for one reason, to figure out if this guy's behind the attacks or not.
His name is Takechi, not this guy, and he's not behind the attacks. As if we believe you. I don't care if you believe me or not. Come on, Takechi, let's get out of here. She turns toward the Coliseum exit, but the swordsman lifts his hand. Wait. She stops. Don't tell me you want to waste time talking to these people who hate you.
We don't hate him.
You think he commands the Dark Wolves? We're looking for someone with the power to do that. It seems pretty rare, so when we heard about someone who can... Yes, of course, he has strange magic, so there must be something wrong with him. He can talk to monsters, so he must be evil, right? Right? Either she has a seriously short temper, or they run into this sort of situation often. Judging by the way she reacted when the security guards called Takechi a freak earlier, it's probably the latter. We're not saying that.
Of course we aren't. If he has Ascendant magic, that's just how he is. Like me with my healing magic, or Shuri with her elemental magic.
You'd be surprised how few people feel that way. People have made assumptions about me because of my magic, too. I don't care what you say. Let's get out of here. Please, Kasumi, calm down. I want to talk to these people. Why? They know about my powers. That seems to be explanation enough for her. But then he turns his attention to us. Okay, sorry. Ever since I realized I truly could communicate with monsters, and that it wasn't a delusion or fantasy of mine, I've searched for an explanation. With Kasumi's help, I found clues, tiny references to something called ascendancy or ascendant magic. Yet this sort of magic is so rare, few people have heard of it.
We learned about it from Dr. Takizawa.
Who? A mad scientist.
He's not mad!
So this Dr. Takizawa knows about ascendant magic? And he explained it to you. Please, what can you tell me? You already know the basics. It lets you communicate with monsters.
The Sacred Spring has an effect on people similar to your magic, although it's only temporary. And that's the blessing of the Sacred Spring. And there are these little white flowers that grow in the presence of Ascendant magic too.
Little white flowers. Yes, many such flowers grew near my home. While we talk, Chise paces back and forth. She looks annoyed, whether she really believes Takechi is guilty or her history with Kasumi just has her on edge. She's clearly displeased by our calm conversation with him. Fine, now we know what they want. Now we know what they know. Let's go. Wait, this Dr. Takizawa knows more about Ascendant magic? Can you take me to meet him? Well, we don't have any proof that Takechi worked with the Dark Wolves, but he hasn't entirely cleared his name either. Talking to him is one thing, but traveling with him is quite another. That's not a bad idea. I look at her in surprise. I thought for sure she'd be against it. Right now, all we have are their claims and our feelings. These aren't enough for us to make rational decisions. Her normal demeanor gradually returns as she speaks, although she carefully avoids making eye contact with Kasumi. We need proof, one way or another. The best way to do that is to be sure that Takechi has no contact with the Dark Wolves. If they attack anyway, we can reasonably assume that he's not responsible. If enough time passes and they don't, then we'll need to consider him a suspect again. Define enough time. We'll deal with that when we get there.
Wait, are you guys saying we should leave him with Dr. Takizawa for a while?
I will not object if you can help me understand my power.
Dr. Takizawa is great, but he's no adventurer. He'd never be able to stand up to this guy in a fight, and he's busy with experiments. Chise, if the Dark Wolves attack, you'll worry Takechi slipped out. You'll worry Takechi slipped out while Dr. Takizawa was distracted. I know you will. From what I saw in the laboratory, there are many rooms that can be locked.
Not a chance. I would prefer not to be locked up.
What about High Cleric Ninsei? Everyone looks at her. He's a very important man, so his cathedral has high security. If we ask him to keep an eye on Takechi, it should be safe.
And High Cleric Ninsei knows a few things about Ascendant magic. That gets Takechi's attention. The High Cleric himself would speak to me about my powers?
I'm sure if we tell him we found the swordsman with Ascendant magic, he'd love to talk to you about it.
Then I agree. Takechi! Don't you see? This is wonderful. I can learn about my powers and clear myself of suspicion at the same time.
More likely you'll waste a lot of time at the cathedral, and then Chise will claim enough time has passed without the Dark Wolves attacking that they have to fight you.
If it comes to that, I'll deal with it then.
Despite Kasumi's grumbling, we only really need Takechi's agreement to go ahead with this plan. With that decided, we prepare to head back to Highwater. I have a feeling the Coliseum staff is more than happy to see us go. Okay, that's all the time I got for this one, fam. Sorry I didn't get any CGs, but yeah, that's all the time I got for this one. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like below. If there's any other games you'd like me to play, please comment down below as well. If you like this, would like to see more, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bells. That'd be epically appreciated of you. And as always, my name is CherryBoy, and my goal in life is to make you smile. Also, I'm sorry if my reading was a little off today. Real sorry about that. I'll make sure it gets better in the next one. But yeah, anyway. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! See ya!